When I came to volunteer full-time at Franciscan Mission Service, my friends and family were a little surprised and obviously quite curious. It was very strange to some of them that I would choose to live in an intentional prayer community with other young adults. It was very strange to them that I would choose to earn a small stipend and live simply without luxuries like cable. I obviously didn't find any of this strange because I saw this volunteer year as an opportunity to grow in my faith and to spend time giving back. I thought it was wonderful that I could use and expand my professional communication skills to help an organization doing such meaningful work. But something that I did find strange at first was the way in which our missioners served. Our society today puts such an emphasis on doing. Thinking of other service programs I had been involved with in college, I wanted to know what our missioners did. How many houses did they build? How many children did they vaccinate? But what FMS emphasizes to our missioners during training is the importance of just being with people, rather than just doing something for them. The buzzwords we throw around are ministry of presence and accompaniment. I have to admit, this totally goes against my natural instincts and my upbringing to always be doing something. Over the past year and a half, it's been so inspiring and enlightening to be able to hear wonderful stories from our missioners about the relationships that they've built and the people that they've known to come while they were serving abroad. Thankfully, I came to truly appreciate this ministry of presence in the fall when FMS added a direct service component to the domestic volunteer program. Rather than spend an entire 40 hours a week in the FMS office, the volunteers now spend Wednesday afternoons serving with vulnerable populations in Washington, D.C. My service site was the Jean Jougon residence, right over on Harwood, which is a nursing home run by the Little Sisters of the Poor. I got to get to know the residents while I helped out on the afternoon snack bar or brought 2 little therapy dogs around for visits. In my several months at Jean Jougon, I learned that the residents don't need me to do much. They have nurses and staff for that. But they could always use another ear to listen to them or another hand to hold theirs. There was one woman in particular who needed a hand to hold. I'll call her Anne. Because Anne had limited mobility, she wanted to have someone come help and clean her room with her. At first, the nursing home volunteer coordinator actually sent 2 volunteers with me to help her out because she said that Anne could be difficult. And we tried to be really patient and take our time in working with her, but Anne was clearly overwhelmed and started to shut down. But the next week, Anne still requested for help in cleaning her room. I told the coordinator that I would go, and I'd go by myself. And over the next couple weeks, I'd continue to go, and the coordinator would apologize to me and tell me I didn't have to go, it's okay, like, she'll deal with it. But I told her that I would, because I could tell that it was important to Anne that she had someone help her in cleaning the room, and that she could use some company. Because in Anne's condition, she longed for love, but others just perceived this as neediness or clinginess and would leave her alone. She would come up with reasons for me to stay longer and would beg for me to come back. Her anxiety seemed to escalate the cleaner and cleaner her room was becoming. One day I finally told her, "You know, Anne, I can just come visit with you. We don't always have to clean." She began to open up about her past and her current loneliness and depression. From then on, I spent a lot of time holding her hand, a lot of time rubbing her back and hugging her while she cried. While occasionally I tried to pray out loud with her, I was always inside praying that I was channeling God's love and could help touch her pain and grief. Whenever I walked into the nursing home, whether I was going to visit Anne or not, I prayed that God would use me as an instrument of his peace. And it's funny how it wasn't until today I realized I was praying the Franciscan peace prayer. In Anne and in so many other residents who are far from their loved ones and at the end of their lives, I sometimes saw doubt, despair, and sadness. And I had to accept that I am not a doctor or a counselor or a priest who could offer them healing or absolution. But I had hoped that God could still use me to bring hope and light with what I had to offer. A smile, a knowing nod, a squeeze of the hand. This understanding of the ministry of presence, from learning it in the office to practicing it at the nursing home, has made me a better friend, a better family member, a better person. There are still times when I find myself trying to fix things for people, but more often I'm starting to find myself just listening and empathizing. The experience has made me a better listener. It's made me more understanding and more compassionate. I've started trying to encourage and explain and encourage others to embrace this ministry of presence because I realize how powerful it is. I know that wherever I go in life, it is an appreciation and an intention that I will bring with me, and I am so thankful to Franciscan Mission Service for instilling it in me. Now that I'm on staff, I look forward to journeying with future volunteers and missioners as they come to appreciate the gift that is this ministry of presence.